If something's not moving well or something's moving too much, something else along the chain is going to compensate for that. And your body will continue to compensate really well until it doesn't. And that's when injuries happen.
Welcome to the Movement Driven Podcast with Dr. Greg Goldberger, where we help you bridge the gap between pain and performance. Each week, we'll share strategies, insights, and real-life applications to help you keep moving and stay driven. Now, let's get into this week's episode of the Movement Driven Podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Movement Driven Podcast. I'm Dara Sweat here with Dr. Greg Goldberger. Greg, how are you doing today?
What's going on, guys? I'm doing well. How are you, Dara?
I'm doing fabulous. I am really excited today because today is a week before Christmas Eve. I'm so excited.
It's so close.
I know. Did you ask Santa to bring anything this year? Are you expecting anything?
That's not how it works in my house.
No, Santa doesn't bring you gifts? What?
No, not anymore.
Oh,
It's okay though. I don't want any gifts. I have my gifts.
oh,
I have 3 beautiful little gifts at home. I got everything I need.
oh yeah. No, but speaking of your beautiful little gifts, your son in his little suspenders that y'all had him in for Thanksgiving.
You saw
Oh,
that?
I saw the post. He is so cute.
I'm a little biased, but I
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to talk about this topic today because it's something that myself as a patient of you guys, as well as just seeing what other patients, it's kind of talk about all the time. And
Mhm.
when we're chatting with them about things that are going on and getting them pointed in the right direction, it's so constant that people have pain, but
Mhm.
then the pain is actually in a spot that the pain is not sourced from, or that's not, the foundation of where it's
Right.
coming from.
Right.
And I kind of want to talk about that because me, being someone who I'm just an athlete, I'm just a girl, who just likes to be physical and like to
Mhm.
take care of my body. But I really, that made no sense to me. So when I came in to talk to you guys about my knees and my ankles kind of bothering me in lower back, all I work on for the most part when I go in for my visits have been my hips lately.
Mhm.
And I will say it has helped significantly, my knees,
Mhm.
back, and ankles, but was very confusing to me from the get-go. And I feel like
Mhm.
a lot of patients can relate to that because we'll have people call in and saying, hey, I've got this ache here, this pain here, and then their exercises are doing something completely opposite. So can you kind of talk about a little bit of why that's a thing?
Yeah. So I think it's one of these buzzword terms that gets thrown around a lot, and it doesn't get talked about in detail enough. And so it's like, what is the kinetic chain, right? So, for instance, in PT school, in orthopedic class, the first thing you learn is when you have somebody come in and they say, my X joint hurts, you have to look above and below. That's the first thing you do, look above and below. It is rarely the point of pain that a problem, right? I always say, like, pain is the end of a long chain of compensation, not the start. And so what does that mean? That means we have a kinetic chain. And if you have a knee issue, could there be an injury at the knee? For sure. But why did you get that injury at the knee? Usually there's some type of mobility or stability issue at the ankle joint or the hip joint, and we have to address those first. And so we'll get into the details of how this kind of works, but essentially, if something's not moving well or something's moving too much, something else along the chain is going to compensate for that. And your body will continue to compensate really well until it doesn't. And that's when injuries happen.
Okay, great. So can we talk a little bit about why we don't like to treat symptoms and we like to get to the root of the problem?
Great question. Like, I think one of the things we always try to impress upon people when we meet them and we're meeting potential clients is that we pride ourselves in not just treating the symptom, but addressing the root cause, right? Like, we're not just trying to calm the smoke, we're trying to put out the fire. But all too often, kind of like we said, when you went to see Elsa for the first time, you're coming with knee pain, you're expecting her to look at your knee. The fire, this is where the fire is. No, that's where the smoke is. That's the smoke signal. The fire's coming from somewhere else. And so if we just spend all day treating your inflamed tendon or your, irritated joint surface or your strained or your, excuse me, sprained ligament, then you'll feel better, but it's going to come back because most of the time, pain that we see is caused by repetitive stress. It's not the one time you did something silly and hurt yourself. It's, oh, I was doing this one activity, and then over time it got worse and worse until the straw broke the camel's back, and now I'm here seeing you because I have a tendonitis, or I pulled a muscle, or I strained whatever. And so we can put out what you think is the fire, but really we're just blowing the smoke away by addressing, like, oh, look, yeah, let's do some ultrasound, or let's do some massage local to the knee. We have to address what's actually happening. So for your knee example, right? Most of the time when you come to see me, if you have knee pain, I'm not giving you a knee exercise the first day. We're not doing any sort of quad or hamstring strengthening. The most we might do is like a calf stretch or a hamstring stretch to relax some tissues. We are doing predominantly hip stuff. If the hip is not stable, if the hip is not mobile, then the stress goes to the knee. The knee is this hinge joint that's locked in between a very mobile hip and a very mobile ankle joint, that if they're not mobile, then the knee moves excessively. And if the knee is moving outside of its normal scope of practice, if you will, its normal range of motion, then it's going to break down because it's doing something that it's not made and designed to do. And so we have to look above and below. We have to look at the whole body as a unit and decipher, where is your issue. For instance, I have a patient I'm working with right now. He's a local trainer. He's one of my favorite patients to treat because he gets it, right? Because he's a trainer, so he understands. So I can tell him something, he does it, and so we're getting a lot of progress quickly. And what's going on with him is he came in originally for hip pain, kind of localized to like his lower buttock, like the upper hamstring area, a little bit into the groin, very kind of vague, multiple tissues involved. And over the course of us kind of going through his rehab process, we've started to delve in other ways. And we talked about this callus that he has on the outer edge of his opposite foot. And you're probably thinking, like, what does that have to do with his groin or hip pain up top? And so anyway, long story short, is because he's utilizing the outside of his foot, he's staying supinated, he's not able to pronate in, then he's not able to utilize his tibia and his femur the right way. He's putting undue stress on different tissues because his ankle mobility is crap. So his ankle mobility is what's causing the callus, and the ankle mobility is what's causing all of his hip and groin discomfort as he's been training for this new event, this new competition he has. So if you don't have somebody try to identify where in your kinetic chain, where's the root cause, then you can address the callus at the podiatrist and you can address the groin pain, but they will come back if you don't address the ankle mobility issue for this specific person. So that's just kind of an example of what we see all the time. It's never where you think the issue is. It's always somewhere else.
Wow. So when we translate this to golfers, CrossFitters, runners, things like that, we always try to have everybody come in, especially new patients, for a full body assessment, whether that's full body plus golf or full body, just in general. So like, why is that we want to have them do that? What are the benefits from getting that full body assessment?
Yeah, well, that's how we assess where the kinetic chain breakdown is, right? So let's use another example. If you're a shoulder patient and I just look at your shoulder and I don't look at your neck, I don't look at your thoracic spine, I don't look at your rib cage, I don't look at your scapula, your shoulder blade and how that's moving, I don't look at your core control, then I missed the boat. I'm guessing at best. All I can say is what tissue is identified, what tissue is causing you pain, what tissue is injured, excuse me. I cannot tell you why. And if I can't tell you why, then I am no better than the ibuprofen or the injection or the Band-Aid. You have to find the root cause and address the root cause. So if you have the thoracic immobility that's putting more stress onto your shoulder when you lift overhead because you're not extending elsewhere, there's the compensation, there's the breakdown, trace it back, fix the thoracic mobility, fix the shoulder blade movement around the rib cage that now needs to move into a new direction. Then you stabilize that. Then eventually the shoulder starts to feel better.
Yeah. So I find it interesting. We always have to kind of knock on traditional PT insurance routes and everything like that.
Mm.
So, I find it interesting how when you go to a physical therapist because you have a insurance paid, subscription. That's not the
Prescription.
Thank you. When you have your insurance prescription that you got from your doctor that you go in and not only are they working on 3 to 4 other patients while they're working on you, but every time I have gone in for whether it's my when I tore my labrum, both times I've had my knee surgeries, the only thing that they have me doing is exercises on my knee or on my shoulder. There's no other assessment besides that. It's here's my slip. I'm going to check a box. And then, you're never actually going to be really healed from being here, but we're going to hit the requirement that insurance has in order for them to pay us so that it gets you in and out.
Exactly.
So, that's what I think is so important about what sets us apart is that we look at the entire body. It is not just, oh, your hip hurts. Okay, well, let's look at your hips. Or, oh, your arm hurts. Let's look at your arm. No, it's, hey, let's look at everything to see how it's all connecting and what the issue is.
Exactly. I think it's a great point. And I'll take it one step further. In that insurance model, sometimes the insurance companies are dictating what you're able to treat. I, as the doctor of physical therapy, the skilled therapist, the person who has my hands and eyes on this person, I'm making an assessment. My license says I'm the person in charge, but the insurance company's telling me, "Oh, you did what for this? You did a plank for your knee patient? Why? Oh, I'm not going to reimburse you for that."
Yeah.
So now you have therapists. So my choice is either to commit insurance fraud by putting into my notes things that I did not do or not, omitting, or I run the risk of not getting paid out by the insurance, and then my business doesn't do well, and now I have to shift to business owner mode, and I can't just think PT mode and helping my patient mode. It's a broken system. And when people say like, why did you're not helping the people that can't afford it, it's like that it stinks, and I think about that all the time. But I don't feel like I was helping them in that system either, because I was dictated by insurance of what I could and could not do. Or like you said, I had 3 patients at once, and I'm going to give you the bare minimum so you can walk in 6 weeks, but you'll have knee pain in a year. Sorry. Yeah. It's a broken system.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I went through 3 rounds of physical therapy for my knee and then 1 for my shoulder. And here I am, 5 years later, getting PT again to fix my knee.
Right.
Because it didn't actually solve the problem.
Right.
But
and you're younger and fit.
Yeah.
So imagine if you were 65 and sedentary for the last 30 years, how much harder it would be to navigate around those issues. Yeah, it stinks, man.
Yeah. Well, I think this was a really awesome episode. Kind of just really getting down to, the kinetic chain and how things are connected, regardless of if it's the opposite side of your body, and how it's really, really important to get that full body assessment. And that is something that we do for every new patient that comes in, and everything that we like to do yearly, even as well, to have just a little tune up to get a full body assessment to see what we can do moving forward with that. And if you're interested in learning more about that, you can go to movementdriven.com. Give us a call and we'll get you in so that we can get you pain-free and get to the root of the cause of your issues instead of just putting Band-Aids on boo-boos. Thanks, Dr. Greg. I think this was a great episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the Movement Driven Podcast with Dr. Greg Goldberger. Want to see how we're helping people in Jacksonville bridge the gap between pain and performance? Head on over to movementdriven.com. Until next time, keep moving, stay driven.